Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our January the 12th, 2021 fiscal court meeting. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. It's a pleasure to be here today with you all. At this time, I'd like to, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Madison County Fiscal Court will be video conferencing the fiscal court meeting live on the Madison County, Kentucky Facebook page and local Spectrum TV channel 377 in compliance with the Office of the Attorney General's opinion 20-05. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Clerk Barger, if you will, please call the roll.
Mr. Barger. Master Tudor.
Here.
Master Bakken.
Present.
Ms. Taylor.
Here. We have several special guests with us today, and it's good to see you all. Glad you're here with us. In just a moment, when we get into our agenda, we'll recognize each and every one of you all. At this time, since our last fiscal court meeting, we have lost one of our magistrates, Mr. Larry Combs, and I think that it is very appropriate for all his years of service to us to honor him this morning with a moment of silence. I'm going to invite our magistrate from our second district, Roger Barger, after the moment of silence to lead us in a word of prayer. And then Roger, if you wouldn't mind to just remember our community and remember his family, Larry's family, in our prayer today, because I know that it's tough on the community and it's tough on them. So at this time, if we can, let's have a moment of silence in honor and in memory of our master of first district for 38 years, Larry Combs.
Father, we come to you this day with heavy hearts as we mourn the loss of Larry Combs, our first district magistrate. Father, with Larry's passing, we are left with a void in our hearts of a dedicated servant of the people. And God, we ask that you lift up the Combs family, give them strength to endure, and comfort them as they mourn their loss. Father, as we conduct this fiscal court meeting, we pray that you will give us guidance and direction. And God, we ask that you give protection to the ones that serve and protect us each and every day. I pray these things in the holy name of the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Roger. At this time, I'm going to ask our sheriff to lead us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Sheriff. Members of the court, y'all had a chance to look over the minutes of our previous meeting. That was our meeting that we had on December the 15th, 2020. At this time, I need a motion and a second to approve. John Tudor.
Judge, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the December the 15th meeting.
Thanks, John. Tom?
Second that, Judge.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, call the roll. Clerk Barger, please.
Master Barger.
Yes.
Master Tudor.
Yes.
Bakken.
Yes.
Ms. Taylor.
Yes. Our treasurer's report is always on our fourth Tuesday, our second meeting of the month, so we'll have that at our next meeting. I'm going to ask the court's permission today, which I'll need a motion in a second, to amend the agenda. The original agenda had item number 10, which is no longer, well, actually, it still is on the agenda. Resolution 2021-06. We're not quite ready for that yet, and we need to bring that back to the second meeting or to another meeting. And then also Resolution 20-21. Resolution 2021-08, we will be bringing back at another fiscal court meeting. So I need a motion and a second to amend the agenda. Roger.
So moved.
Have a motion. Do I have a second, Tom?
Second.
I have a motion second. Please call the roll.
Mr. Buchan,
Yes.
Mr. Berger,
Yes.
Mr. Tudor,
Yes.
Ms. Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all. Next is the Madison County School Board Recognition Proclamation. We do have some of our school board members on here with us today. We have Lori Cobb, Brandon Rutherford, and Becky Cole. It's so good to have you all here. It is a little easier to do it on Zoom, I guess, because we can always get you from the comfort of your home or maybe even your office. So it's always a pleasure to have you all with us, and I look forward to this every year when we get to do this proclamation. At this time, I'll read it, and then I'll turn it over to all three of you or one of you if you all would like to say anything. Whereas our community values a quality education as a vital step along the pathway to success for our children. And whereas Beth Brock, Samantha Burford, Lori Cobb, Becky Cole, and Brandon Rutherford contribute greatly to this community through their service on the Madison County Board of Education. And whereas these decision makers are responsible for maintaining strong, effective budgetary oversight, high standards for employment, and a safe, well-managed set of school facilities. And whereas these board members are serving our community with integrity, honor, and a commitment for our children's futures. And whereas January 2021 marks Kentucky's observation of their contributions through School Board Recognition Month. Now, therefore, I, Reagan Taylor, do hereby proclaim the month of January 2021 throughout this community as School Board Recognition Month, and urge all citizens to honor Beth Brock, Samantha Burford, Lori Cobb, Becky Cole, and Brandon Rutherford for their service. So here, let's do a round of applause, whether you're muted or not. We appreciate the service that you all do for Madison County and for our kids. I'll personally thank you for what you do for my kids. I have a senior and a freshman, and they're not getting as much of an in-person freshman or senior year, but they're still adjusting and doing virtual. And so we appreciate everything that you all have done to make sure that our kids are staying on top of things during this pandemic. I'll just let you all pick who wants to go first. Brandon, I hope you know it should be Lori or Becky.
I just thank you all very much for your support and for the community as well. We all know how difficult these times are, and we have an incredible administration and an incredible community, and we wouldn't be able to do the job we do without the support of everybody in our community and you guys as well. So thank you all very much.
Yeah, this being part of the school board has just been a privilege for all of us, and if we didn't have a community like we have and the support that we have, it would be a lost job. So we do appreciate each of you all and your support in what we're doing.
Yeah, I'll just add that we appreciate the county support and we appreciate everyone supporting us. We work really hard to try to give the best education we can to our kids, and we appreciate all of our administrators and the county and all the other boards that help us work together to provide a good education to our kids.
Thank you all very much. Go
I'll
ahead.
add to that. It's
Oh, Samantha. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were on here. Samantha, it's good to see you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry I
it's
didn't recognize you. You snuck in on me.
I did, and I didn't turn the video on because I'm down here organizing another closet. That's what we do during COVID, right? So I didn't want to miss the meeting, though. So thank you very much. This is very generous of you. I know this is something that we've been doing since I've been on the board, and we appreciate all of your all support and your hard work and your dedication to our community. You know, we understand how this is not an easy time for all the magistrates and the county officials. And so we thank you very much.
Thank you, Samantha. And I will say Samantha is our chairman of our school board. Is that correct, Samantha?
Yes,
Yes.
this year.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
will turn it over Thursday night to a new chairperson and vice chairperson at our meeting Thursday night.
Okay, good. Well, thank you for what you do. Magistrates, would y'all like to say anything? Tom?
Hey, just quickly, Judge, anytime that you're dealing with budgets and the public, a lot of times you have your hands full. And I know that the school board in the past and daily has to make tough decisions about how that they fund projects and how that they move the education forward in Madison County. But they do an excellent job over there, and we certainly appreciate every one of you. You provide the best you can for our children and our grandchildren, and that's the main thing. That's what it's all about. We want to thank all of you for that service.
Thanks, Tom. John?
Judge, I'd just like to say, I try to watch the video conference of the school board meetings when at all possible. I think these are well qualified, well dedicated, and hardworking individuals that take their time to try to see that our students and their teachers have the best education, the best materials that they possibly can to move forward with the education of Madison County children. I appreciate each and every one of them.
Thank you, John. Thank you all very much for being on. It's always an honor to get to do this proclamation in January. I appreciate our relationship, and I appreciate what you do as elected officials. So God bless you. You're more welcome to stay, but you're also more welcome to leave and go on about your day. So I know you all are probably busy. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Court. We appreciate y'all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is we have some other special guests that are going to give us an update of our MORE group. And our MORE group stands for Madison Opioid Response. And at one time it was engagement, but it might be enhancement now. I can't remember. So I apologize, Jackie and John. You all can correct me.
It's empowerment now.
Empowerment, okay. But it was engagement at one time. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Tom Bakken.
Hey, Judge, I just want to say before they start their presentation, if you're watching this at home, Facebook, whatever that might be, I urge you to get a piece of paper and a pencil, because they're going to provide a lot of information that may be beneficial to you and your family or someone that you know. And I just urge you to take some notes during this.
Thank you, Tom. We have John Roden and Jackie Dean. I'll let them give their titles, but both of them work for Kentucky River Foothills. And our MORE group was established a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And it has actually grown into a really good group of different entities, different community leaders, different agencies, so that we can all be on the be a unified team as we combat this drug epidemic, which I will say is the biggest scourge on our community today. I know we're in the midst of a pandemic, but the drug epidemic it has a lot more effects on our community than this pandemic does. So appreciate you all being on here today, John. I'll turn it over to you, and you can lead us through your PowerPoint.
Fantastic. Thank you, Judge Taylor, and thank you, Court, for allowing us the opportunity to come and speak to you. And as we go through today, we are going to be providing quite a bit of information, but at any time, if anyone from the fiscal court or from the community wishes to contact us, we'd definitely welcome that to walk through. So I won't belabor that part. I'm going to pull straight into our PowerPoint to honor your time as well. So you should be able to see it now. So we're going to walk through two parts of community development and what we provide through Foothills. So as you had mentioned, we recognize the impacts of the COVID epidemic, and also for the impact of opioid substance use. So we're going to kind of braid these together of what Foothills has to offer to support the community during this time. So within our outreach offices, we are trying to continue to achieve the mission, and that's that we believe in a strong community. No family is expendable. No one is. And that's why we are in public service, whether it's within schools, within social services, healthcare, is serving. And we believe in doing that in partnership so that all people will have lives of dignity, responsibility, and opportunity. To support that, we offer multiple services, and we don't believe that one project will be able to achieve that. We try to leverage all of our resources to make as big of an impact as possible. So a couple of the direct services to support more and to support our community that we have currently in operations is LIHEAP. So that's our low income heat energy assistance program, which I'm going to go in depth here in just a moment. Team Kentucky is the financial support for those that are facing rental evictions or due to arrearages or mortgage. We also have for the partnerships with Delta, Columbia Gas, with Kentucky Utilities and Richmond Utilities for individuals behind on their utility payments. So on LIHEAP Crisis, this is a program that's currently up and going, and you may be thinking, well, how is this going to impact and break into more? These are risk factors that we're trying to identify and try to offset. So LIHEAP Crisis for income eligible families, those are below 150% of poverty. The household that is within 4 days of running out of fuel for bulk fuel, coal fuel, propane, households that have received a past due or a disconnect notice, and households' home heating costs are included as an undesignated portion of rent. So in essence, for the individuals right now, so we're in the bitter cold. For those families that are facing a disconnect, we have financial supports that go directly to the vendors. So it's $400 that can go to offset that cost for someone that is facing imminent disconnect or for the heat and utility assistance need. And it also can go for those that are the landlords, the owners, to offset that as well. In addition, within our programs for Connect, we have our navigators, our connectors that help support for connecting individuals for healthcare insurance through the state exchanges, goodwill vouchers for those that are suffering from an emergency need from a fire or for a displacement. We also have programming for New Eyes for the Needy to offset for costs for vision, for glasses, for lenses, weatherization and housing. Jackie can speak to a little bit more when she dives more into the more side. We have a transitional housing, rapid rehousing project that we expanded here into Madison County. So we'll be bringing a unit here within Richmond as well. And then our internal and external referrals. We know that we would not be able to provide each and every service directly. So we try to connect individuals within our community. So if they call us, definitely we want to serve them. And if we can't do it, we want to connect them to the agency or the individuals that can. This one here, for those that are at home or for those that if someone comes across your path here in Madison County, these are the contacts to do. This one here is a new system. It's an online appointment system. So if we click on it, whenever we're looking at home, it will bring us to an appointment system to where anyone in the community can, from the comfort of their home, make an appointment, and we can do it all virtual to connect them with some of these supports and services. The last ones I wanted to review and then for Jackie is, we've heard a lot about the CARES Act, and within the state, we had what was called the CSBG, the Community Service Block Grant portion of CARES. And for Foothills, looking at our community data, we tag that down to some specific targeted services that we're able to provide back to those that are in need. One is for child care assistance, those that are trying to or got behind on payments or need child care supports to maintain working. We have funds that are able to support it. Mortgage and rental payments. So we've seen with the eviction moratoriums being lifted that we also have funds within our CSBG CARES to help offset those costs up to an $800 benefit for those that are eligible. We can provide security deposits for utilities to avoid homelessness. So if someone has been evicted or someone is needing to set up services, we can help offset that cost. Emergency food and tuition assistance. Thanks for the tuition assistance, may not as much right now, but we've seen an increase for some of our students going back, or if a job has been lost, trying to keep for that economic development. Because going back to our mission, we want to ensure that we are providing the opportunity to live lives of dignity, responsibility, and independence. And then a couple of the others, we also for automobile payments, utility assistance that's not covered through LIHEAP. And this last one, employment-related expenses, including uniforms, testing fees, licensing when required to retain or obtain employment. So for the manufacturing sector, for construction, for anything that for work gear, we can help offset that for someone that is entering into workforce. So the reason why we highlight these services is that as we look at the impacts of opioid use, substance use, that we want to make sure that we are providing coverage and leveraging the assistance and supports across. But it also, these are eligible or programming services that are directly impacting and are supporting our community during this pandemic. And we just want to make sure everyone within our community is aware of it as well. Here's the contact for our intake. It's Heather Elam. It's helam@foothillscap.org. So it's a one-stop call. So whenever you call into this number, it would be the way to connect with some of our other programs that I would love to speak with. Those that know some of you on the call, others don't, but I'd love to be able to sit down at some point to talk through our other programs as well. So that is the overarching for direct services that are provided. So I'm going to ask Jackie Dean, who was our CSBG director, who has been promoted to our Scholar House director now for Foothills, to walk us through more in depth on more.
Thank you, John. So I am also the R4 liaison. Last year, I served as the Moore program coordinator for the planning grant. So last year, it was Madison opioid response and engagement, like Reagan and I were talking about. But now it is Madison County opioid response and empowerment. We feel like last year we really hit on that engagement, engaging the community, getting some awesome community leaders together, talking about some things that we can improve in the community. So we also applied for a implementation grant. So it is a 3-year grant where we were funding money to pretty much put back into the community and provide various different services. So we have a consortium of organizations, and so that consortium includes White House Clinic, we got Madison County Health Department, ASAP, Richmond Chamber of Commerce, and a couple of other community leaders, members who we have one that's in recovery, and then we have another one that's been working in the health field for quite some time. And then we also have the dry dock in Kentucky River Foothills. So Moore works to reduce the morbidity and mortality associated with opioid overdoses and is diligently working to develop long-term solutions to help this Madison County crisis. You go next, John. Alrighty, so through Moore, these are the things that we would like to accomplish. Reduce the occurrence of OUD, opioid use disorder, and substance use disorder among new and at-risk users, as well as fatal and opioid-related overdoses. So some ways that we'll do that, and I'll talk about that in a minute, is naloxone, our Narcan training. You can go back, sorry. And then also expanding those treatment options. So including access to medication-assisted treatment, or what we call medication opioid use disorder treatment. Increase other recovery and treatment options that help people start and then stay in recovery, because that's the important part. And that's why we talked about those services in the beginning, because that's going to be, you know, help identify those risk factors, but then also help those individuals stay in recovery and providing them with all those extra supports. So what activities we will be doing within these next 3 years? reduce stigma through a multimedia campaign. So last year, we ran a hometown recovery. We partnered with WBON on that, and it was a awesome campaign, and we're wanting to continue to do more multimedia campaigning on reducing the stigma. Also hosting conferences, trainings, and recovery rallies. We actually hosted our first recovery rally through Facebook, so that was different. Trying to find creative ways to reach people during COVID has been fun. So recovery rallies, it was a really good one. We had a lot of positive feedback from that, and we'll probably continue using that Facebook group to do more recovery rallies. So if you're interested in that, please feel free to reach out and let me know. Also providing community education and prevention events, increasing the number of peer support specialists. I don't know if you all know this, but we only had, I want to say, around 10 last year when I was working on doing research for what we really needed in the community. And that was something that kept coming up that people kept mentioning, is that we don't have enough peer support specialists. So notable accomplishments so far. We have an awesome team, and these are not my accomplishments because this is all the work of the individuals that are truly working on this grant. So we have Jerry Allison, Vicki Josefowitz, Travis Witt, and Karen Atkins, who have continued to do amazing things with this grant. But the terabytes are going to be distributed to 17 countywide pharmacies, so to assist with drug disposal. So if you don't know what that is, the terabytes are like a safe at home medication disposal. So you can put it in a bag, I think it's like charcoal activated, and then it gets rid of that drug. And that's really important and really important to do. Working to develop a web app so that residents in Madison County can find resources available locally. I actually took a look at that app yesterday. That website yesterday. It's going to be amazing. Just adding more resources to it before it's going to be available publicly, but it will be a wonderful resource for Madison County. And I can share that with you all when once we get it out, I can share it with Robin to get out to everybody. Notable accomplishments included also the working with community leaders, so ASAP and then Madison County EMS on the lots on. So we put $5,000 towards ASAP and then $15,000 for EMS just to make sure we're getting the naloxone out. We also have a stakeholders network that I didn't mention. I know Judge Taylor has been a part of that since the very beginning. He has attended every meeting and has been very helpful for us. The stakeholder, I think we have over 100 people a part of that group. So our consortium is a little bit smaller, but we have a bigger stakeholder network. We continue to meet virtually. I think they're doing it every other month now. So if that's something you're interested in too, just let me know. My email is jdean, JDEAN, @foothillscap.org. And also visit our Facebook page. We always have updates on there, what's going on. We also have a page just for more as well. So if those are things you're interested in, just find us on Facebook.
Thank you, Jackie. Jackie, as far as the sort of that working group, our stakeholders group, could you just let the court and let the community know that can just be individual citizens that are interested in getting engaged and trying to help their understanding of this drug epidemic and what it means to a community, or they could have had family members that they want to be part of a solution to this epidemic. And could you kind of talk about that stakeholders group? I mean, it could be church group, it could be there's tons of different people.
We have so many people that are a part of that group. So many community leaders. We just have church organizations, like Reagan Taylor said. We have community. We have community members. We have different social services, and pretty much what we talk about is just resources. We will have people come and talk about resources, what's available for you, what's available for somebody that you might know. Like you said, if you're just interested to know more what's going on or more on how you can help your family and the community. I mean, it's just been an amazing, amazing group. I wish we could all meet in person like we did last year, because it was, I mean, we were having some great things and great conversations started. So if you're interested, just let me know. I think there is a Google form now that I can send to you that you can sign up that way and just know more what's going on.
Thank you, Jackie. Local businesses. I mean, you have some local businesses that are involved in our stakeholder group. So it is a good group. Thank you all very much. Magistrates, do y'all have any comments or any questions? Tom, hit your mute button there. I think you're talking.
Yeah, Judge, the only thing I just want to say is there's a lot of programs that they have that can benefit our county residents, and please don't hesitate to reach out to them because they're more than willing to help.
Thank you, Tom.
John, we thank you and Jackie both for being here today.
Oh, and thank you. Thank you all so much for your service, and we look forward to continuing to serve together, because one of the things that really was an eye-opener for me was viewing the recovery rally videos, and I would encourage everyone to take a look at just the hope that you can hear in the individuals, and that's what we want to do, is to serve together to provide hope.
Yeah, in those videos, we have local Madison County residents that have been in recovery. And so hearing their stories, it really digs deep when you think about it, and looking at the stigma that surrounds it. It's just really important to listen to those people. But thank you guys, so we appreciate it.
Thank you all very much. Appreciate you. Next, we have second reading of ordinance 20-24. This is zone change 2761 and 2725 Lexington Road. We have Bert Thomas on with us. Good morning, Bert.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, buddy.
So just to remind everybody, this is a second reading, like the judge said, for ordinance 20-24. It's an ordinance of the Madison County Fiscal Court, Kentucky, approving the zone change of 2761 and 2725 Lexington Road, Richmond, Kentucky, and authorizing the amendment of the official zoning map of Madison County, Kentucky. This was a unanimous recommendation from the Planning Commission. The findings of facts were that the existing zoning classification is inappropriate, and the proposed zoning classification is appropriate for the following reasons. This area is one of increasing economic activity, with several adjoining or proximate properties being zoned similarly to the classification proposed by the applicant. The use of this property as it was presently zoned was not feasible given the tract's small size, being too small for agriculture, and that the property was within the urban development corridor with supporting infrastructure and economic development as contemplated by the comprehensive plan that made UC3 the most appropriate zoning classification for the property. And again, this is from UC7 to UC3. This property is on Lexington Road near the intersection of Clay Lane. There's a couple other construction projects going on there currently adjacent to this property, actually. We haven't had any comments since the first reading. I don't know if the judges had any through the fiscal court's line there, but we have to answer any questions.
No, we haven't received any comments either at this time. So at this time, I need a motion and a second for the second reading of ordinance 20-24. It's zone change 2761 and 2725 Lexington Road. Roger? Roger made a motion. I was watching his lips. Roger, you're muted, but I got it. I watched you. John Tudor.
Judge, I'd like to second the motion to approve the ordinance 2024, the zone change at 2761 and 2725 Lexington Road.
All right, thank you all. I do have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? We did advertise this appropriately by KRS. We have not had any kind of feedback or any kind of comments. I don't think, as Bert said, I don't even think in your planning commission meeting there was any.
No, we didn't have anybody other than the applicant present for that meeting.
Yeah. Yep. All right, seeing no additional comments, call the roll, please.
Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Master Buchan,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Bert.
Thank you, Bert.
Next, second reading of ordinance 20-25. This is a road fund budget amendment. Glenna, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
This is ordinance 2025, an ordinance relating to the budget amendment of the road budget. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court is responsible for the administration of the county budget, and whereas Madison County Fiscal Court has realized unbudgeted receipts, and whereas the county treasurer has reviewed the budget to ensure sound financial practices, now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of the County of Madison, Commonwealth, Kentucky, the road budget be amended by $223,019 for unexpected receipts for the line item 024514 Transportation Cabinet, budget amended into line item 026105 405-03 Asphalt Discretionary Funds. This ordinance shall become effective on the date of second reading and adoption.
Thank you, Glenna. Do I have a motion and a second for ordinance 20-25 road fund budget amendment? Tom Bakken.
Motion to approve ordinance 2025, Judge.
Thank you. John Tudor.
Second that motion, Judge.
Thank you all. Just for you all to know that these were some of the slide repairs that we got discretionary funds for on a couple different projects. I think one of them was down on Stony Run Road, and the other one is Carver's Ferry Road. So we appreciate the Transportation Cabinet and they're fulfilling these requests for discretionary money. Is there any other discussion? We do have a motion and a second. Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Master Buchan,
Yes.
Mr. Berger,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Next is resolution 2021-01. This is Madison County Clerk's 2021 budget. Whereas the Madison County Clerk presented the fiscal court with the 2021 budget, and whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court is required to approve the Madison County Clerk's budget annually. Now therefore be it resolved that the fiscal court does hereby approve the Madison County Clerk's 2021 budget and authorizes the judge executive to execute same on behalf of the county. At this time, I need a motion and a second for resolution 2021-01. Tom Bakken.
Judge, motion to approve resolution 2021-01.
Roger.
Second.
Thank you all. Kenny, do you want to have any discussion here?
We can, or I can answer any questions. It's pretty much the same as last year, and we're blessed here in Madison County. This is my budget on the receipt side is a pretty good barometer of what our economy is doing and where it's headed. And because everything that we do here in this office, basically the main source of income is transfer of real property and transfer of motor vehicles. And I have not seen a year since I've been here that those two things have declined. We are continuing to grow here, continuing to get stronger, and this budget reflects it. Like I say, every year, this is called a budget, but we have to make the expenditures match the receipts. So that's not the way it's going to turn out at the end of the day. If anybody's got any questions about that, we'll have excess fees as normal, but that's not what this process is. So in the budget general term order, we have to match receipts to our disbursements, but our disbursements will not be where our receipts are. We'll have excess fees as usual at the end of the year and the end of the term.
Is there any questions for our clerk? Kenny, so your all's budget went down about 400,000 compared to last year. Is that the way I understand this?
Yep.
Yep.
And the majority of that's elections. We don't have any elections this year.
Right. Yeah.
Or the money that moves through here is elections, and we don't have any
Right.
this coming year.
Okay. All right. Seeing no questions or comments, we do have a motion and a second. This time we'll call the roll.
Mr. Bucket,
Yes.
Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Mr. Tudor,
Yes.
let's go.
Yes. Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate the job you do.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Next, we have Resolution 2021-02. This is the Madison County Sheriff's 2021 budget. A resolution for the Madison County Fiscal Court to approve the Madison County Sheriff's 2021 budget, whereas the Madison County Sheriff presented the Fiscal Court with the 2021 budget, whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court is required to approve the Madison County Sheriff's budget annually. Now therefore be it resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve the Madison County Sheriff's 2021 budget and authorizes the Judge Executive to execute same on behalf of the county. Do I have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2021-02? John Tudor.
Judge, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 2021-02, the Madison County Sheriff's budget for 2021.
Thank you, John. Roger.
I second that.
I have a motion and a second. I think at this time, the sheriff is going to sort of do a recap of 2020. And then I think Mary Margaret is going to talk about the budget. So Sheriff, even though it says Sam Manley, I want to make sure that the community knows that this is Sheriff Mike Cole. You're better looking than Sam Manley, Sheriff.
There you go. First of all, I'd like to take just a minute and thank the Fiscal Court for allowing this budget to go through. It means a lot to us. It's just public safety. I've been in this business many, many years. I just feel that this budget is a needed budget that we had to have, and I really appreciate each one of the magistrates. We lost a friend with Larry Combs, and this just kind of tops it off. I'm sure he'd be proud of this budget as well as we are. But if it's pleasing to the court, I'd like to make a little bit of a statement, go over some stats as quickly as possible. And first of all, I would like to, like I said, I'd like to address the court in reporting the Madison County office, the end of the year of activity and stats, and also talk about some certain events that took place during 2020. The Madison County Sheriff's Office was first to feel the financial burden with the devastating cuts to our budget in 2020. We had to cut, and we lost several personnel positions going into 2020 on that budget to make the required budget that we had to have. But when we made those cuts and the loss of personnel that we did, it was a domino effect that come over our agency real quickly. Morale went low, no pay raises, no hires, no cruisers, etc. But within the first few days after operating on the new budget, we had another surprise. We had 3 other deputies at court security, 2 in court security, and 1 deputy that quit to go to other agencies for more paying jobs, plus the 5 that we had to cut on our initial budget to get within that requirement. This put us in a pretty tough position. It made the schedule trying to keep people out on the road and working in courts, the system adequate to serve the citizens of this great county. Then unbelievable COVID-19 hits. When it arrives, it makes the situation even worse. It's a global pandemic. It hits the state, it hits Madison County, and it makes it really tough on our employees, our families, everybody in Madison County. But I want to say that I'm very proud of the personnel here at the Madison County Sheriff's Office. They were able to step up, and they worked every day out here on the streets. We didn't have the ability to work from home, the type of work we do, but they carried out their duties admirably. And I just can't say enough about the employees here at the Madison County Sheriff's Department. Our agency, we were asked, to help out, to assist some other county entities that some were stricken with COVID, falling short. We had no problems. We jumped right in with what we had, and we helped animal control do their duties during this time. We provided security for the courthouse facilities. We also provided security and helped by appointment only the Madison County Clerk's Office and the Madison County Circuit Court's office during these times. It was just great to be able to assist in these difficult times and make this county government work as a team, and that's exactly what we all did. We had 9 employees over several weeks and months through this pandemic that we had to quarantine. They had come into contact work-related, where they had made contact, either traffic stops, answering calls, whatever, but we had to quarantine 9 over a few months, and this really messed the schedule up. Having people off at separate times really put us in a big burden. But after following our COVID-19 protocol, these people, if not showing any signs or anything, they were quarantined, retested, and then brought back to work. So I'm glad to say that all 9 of those worked out good. On July the 5th, 2020, we suffered a devastating loss with the sudden passing of Deputy Michelle Albertson. Michelle was retired from the Frankfort Police Department, and she had worked here for the past 10 years. Michelle was an excellent person, grandmother, mother. She was very hardworking, very dedicated employee, and she will definitely be missed by this department. Then we had another setback in 2020. We had 12 employees, counting myself, unfortunately, that tested positive for COVID-19 during the months of November and December. And this was very devastating. This was huge. When you have to separate and be off for weeks with this virus and this illness, and believe me, it is the real thing. But like I say, this hit our agency unexpected. We kind of knew maybe 1 or 2 would possibly get it, but we had no idea that 12 of us would go down. I'm happy to say that all these employees are doing fine and are back to work. Like I say, 2020 was a very challenging year for all of us. It was very challenging for our Madison County Sheriff's Department. We overcame many obstacles. We adapted and we adjusted, not only to our budget, but to everything going on in our country, where it was politics, where it was anything that we were called on to do. We tried our best to make it the best and do what we had to do. A lot of unusual circumstances that we faced in 2020. We're looking forward, Judge and the court, we're looking forward to the new year of 2021. Again, we're honored to serve and protect the citizens of this county and to serve this court. And thank you for that. If it would please now, I would like to go over quickly some statistics. I'm not going to spend much time on them, but keep in mind that that, during the pandemic that the courts were closed. Sometimes the courthouses, our annex building were open, and some were open on appointment only. But case reports for the year for the Madison County Sheriff's Office, we were up 781 compared to 2019, 745. Court papers served, we were down, and that's due to the COVID pandemic. We had 2,386 recorded compared to last year's 3,728. Eviction notices with the mandate from the governor, handling landlords and people that they normally would be evicted. We had 439 compared to 784 of last year. So you can see the pandemic really hit hard in that area. EPOs, a lot of people staying at home, not working, stimulus checks coming in, different things. It seems like the EPO count was down. Maybe the domestics and the EPOs seem like maybe people got along a little better. But those numbers were down. EPOs were 83 compared to 126 in 2019. Domestic calls were 335 compared to 346 in 2019. I'm going to skip over a few more. A lot of people were at home, so our alarm calls for residential and business were down as well. Our DUI arrests were about the same. We had 67 in 2020, and we had 68 in 2019. I think the message of drinking and driving is getting out, so that's good. Funeral escorts, this is a little alarming, and I want the court to understand that if it goes to the Brea Cemetery or Richmond Cemetery, either Brea PD does the escort or Richmond PD does the escort. If it's going to those locations, sometimes we take them as well, but normally we have those out in the county when a funeral takes place. But funeral escorts were up 272 in 2020 that we handled to 230 in the year of 2019. We touched on it a little bit with our other guests earlier, but in 2020, we had 59 overdose deaths in Madison County. 59 overdose deaths in Madison County compared to 52 in 2019. Through the health department, we had 39 COVID deaths this year in 2020. So 272 funeral escorts that we did in 2020 compared to 230 in 2019. Action reports, we were up 476 compared to 347 last year. Our warrants were about half of what is normal due to the courts being closed and then working by appointment only. Our care and concealed applications were down, not much, but we're down to 1,053 compared to 1,172 in 2019. Vehicle inspections were pretty close to 5,287 compared to 6,307. Calls for services, it was about the same, close to it at 31,891. Those are some statistics, some other statistics that I want to run by you quickly. Our honor guard was called out and utilized, and those guys do an excellent job, men and women on our honor guard. I think our magistrates as well as our judge got to see them at Magistrate Combs when they performed there, the ceremony at Magistrate Combs' funeral. But the first time this year and during the COVID, we weren't able to normally do what we do for the citizens of this county with their honor guard, but we had a activation for our honor guard for Madison County Deputy Michelle Alberson on July the 8th and 10th for her viewing and funeral. And then we had a presentation of colors at Bethel Baptist Church on Veterans Day. That was in November. And then we were asked by the Rockcastle Sheriff and their constituents there in Rockcastle that we do the funeral for Rockcastle Deputy Sheriff Ronnie Bradley. And we graciously accepted that and did that out of respect for them. And then, like I said, on December the 29th and 30th, we did the funeral and viewing for Master Combs in honor and respect for a Madison County Magistrate. We had one bike activation this year. And like I said, normally we do more in subdivisions, places where were needed, parades, different things, but all that came to a stop. But we did the bike when we assisted Richmond Police Department and Madison County in the Black Lives Matter march that took place downtown Richmond. Of interest, we had 73 K-9 deployments this year, 73 K-9 deployments. As you all know, one of the things that Madison County Sheriff's Office is committed to, and that's trying to fight the drug problem we have in Madison County. You know, we have 5 people that's assigned to drugs out of our Madison County Sheriff's Office, and we have 5 K-9s, and a K-9 is normally on duty 24/7 here at our Sheriff's Department. That will lead me into a quick tally on, but I don't want to get too involved in it, so I'm just going to give you some quick numbers. Madison County Sheriff's Office only. Now we, of course, we have the City of Richmond, City of Brea, and the State Police that work very hard, very diligently on the drug issue too. Madison County is in excellent shape, even though we have 59 overdose deaths. But you know, these guys work very, very hard to keep drugs off the street and out of our community. It affects us all each and every day. But Madison County Sheriff's Office, we opened 212 drug cases in 2020. And that's kind of slowed due to the COVID itself. Out of those 212 cases, there was 365 drug arrests. And some of these are where deputies make a traffic stop and it's a very mute or a small amount, and they write a citation to court where they go before the judge, or misdemeanors arrest or felony arrest. 365. And out of those drug cases from our sheriff's office, there was 20 firearms that was involved in those drug arrests, those drug cases. That's the Madison County Sheriff's Office. Now, I'd like to go over the HIDA, give you a quick on the HIDA. Sergeant Scott King is over that detail, and I'm just going to give you some quick numbers on this. First of all, felony arrests, there were 44. Weapons seized, there were 28. And felony cases open, there were 62. I'm not going to get into all the different type drugs and everything, but mainly what you see is heroin, cocaine, fentanyl, and then you have all your pharmaceutical type drugs that follow up, marijuana and all. I want to give you also a report on the gentleman that we have on our DEA task force. Just to enlighten you again, we have 2 deputies that's assigned to the HIDA Drug Task Force, 2 with Richmond, 2 with Berea, 2 with State Police. Then we have one person that's assigned to the DEA task force, and that covers Central Kentucky. And some of the counties that these cases that were made this year were Madison County, Fayette County, Powell County, Wolfe County, Detroit, Michigan, Cincinnati, Ohio, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Los Angeles, and Mexico. These investigations through the DEA person that we have on that task force, these are just his cases and where the investigations led to with the help of other DEA agents. But we had 7, our deputy that's on that task force had 7 federal case investigations. And out of those 7, there was 27 people that were arrested out of those 7 cases. There was 3.5 pounds of fentanyl that were taken during that, 3 pounds of methamphetamine, and 1.8 pounds of cocaine, 7 firearms, a considerable amount of money that that's taken in a lot of those drug investigations. And, you know, hopefully through time that money will be coming our way. I know I've spoke that before, but it's slow in coming due to the court system and due to COVID. But I'm very proud of our commitment that we have to make our community safe. Like I said, I'm very proud of our agency, very proud of our people. Our tax collection went well this year. Even though COVID hit, we were able to set some different things up where people could come in a little easier. We enjoyed working with our circuit court clerk and our county court clerk and their staff. And I want again to thank you, Judge, and our magistrates for approving this budget that we so needed. Thank you. Is he talking?
You may be muted.
Thank you, Tom. You just repaid the favor, didn't you? I told you a minute ago. Now you're telling me. Appreciate you, Sheriff. Appreciate the job that y'all do. Masters, y'all had a chance to look over the budget. We put it on Dropbox there this past Friday. We do have a motion and a second to approve. Do y'all have any questions for the sheriff? I think the sheriff's total budget this year will be $4,270,200. John Tudor.
Judge, I have a copy of the budget and went over it and actually talked with Sheriff Coyle on several issues, and he explained them to me. I think, you know, this is something we need to support. I regret not being able to support him fully last year, but I think maybe we can come up with the funds to support his budget this year. And I think his team does an awesome job keeping our county safe. I call him quite often, and you know, he'll follow up on a call or something I'll get, and he'll report back to me within hours of what's going on. And Mike does an awful good job. He's got a good team, and I think we need to support them to keep our county as safe as we can. So.
Thanks, John. I agree 100%. And one thing I want to make sure that everybody understands too is that the sheriff's office is a fee office, and so they collect fees on services that they provide. But to be able to provide the service that they provide to the community and the safety, that they provide to the community and the citizens of this community. It takes more money to operate his office than what he collects in fees. And so that's where the fiscal court has to approve to give him extra money. And so through the general fund, we would pull almost $1.4 million out of the general fund to put into the sheriff's budget this year. Some of that has to do, and I've said this in the past, with our sheriff's department is actually doing a lot more law enforcement than typically sheriff's department have done in years past. You know, the state police has a officer, a trooper shortage across the Commonwealth, which they have less troopers out running our roads. And when we have a sheriff like we do and his staff, they're able to sort of pick that slack up and be able to keep our community safe. And so that's part of what this funding goes towards, is making sure that that our citizens in our county and we have a law enforcement presence. And with all the numbers and the statistics that he just shared, I think it shows that we do have that presence and that we are fighting to keep our community safe. Anybody else? Tom, you unmuted.
Yeah, I just briefly wanted to say, Judge, that, you know, we tied their hands last year to some degree and did what we had to do. And the sheriff adapted to that. His men adapted to that. And, you know, then to be complicated by the COVID was just, I mean, just unbelievable. But, you know, you see these men out in our community every single time. I'm not talking about one exception. Every single time that I see them out in our community, they're professional. Their appearance is professional. The job they're doing is professional. You know, his numbers speak for themselves. On, I think I heard you say, Sheriff, 31,000 calls to the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
This year. I mean, that's phenomenal. That the service that they provide to our county, and we're glad that we can support that budget this year and bring you back up to the numbers that you need. So.
Thanks, Tom. Any other questions? Any other comments?
I think Roger was wanting to say something, Judge.
Raj? Yeah, go ahead, Raj. Sorry, unmute yourself. I'm sorry I didn't see your hand up.
That's okay. I had it up and then I took it back down. But just to iterate what Tom and John has said, we don't feel good about cutting anybody's budget, and especially the sheriff's department, because they're top notch as far as I'm concerned. Always have been. I've been very proud to see them out on the road, the way they conduct themselves. It's always been top notch, and I've told him that before. But we just run into financial restraints sometimes that we can't control, and not only their budgets, but some of the other budgets was cut too. So, but we're glad to do what we can for them, and there'll never be a better sheriff's department in our county.
Thanks, Roger. Anything else? All right, at this time, call the roll.
Dr. Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Dr. Bakken?
Yes.
Let's do.
Yes. Sheriff, we really appreciate you. He said thanks for the support.
Thank you, and thank you for the support, Judge.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Fiscal Court. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mike.
Next, Resolution 2021-03. This is the Northern Madison County Sanitation District Board appointment, whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court is responsible for the appointment of the Northern Madison County Sanitation District Board members, and whereas a vacancy to the Northern Madison County Sanitation District Board is open, and whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court has found Johnny D. Webb as fit for the position as board member of the Northern Madison County Sanitation District Board. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve Johnny D. Webb as a Northern Madison County Sanitation District Board member. I need a motion and a second to approve resolution 2021-03. Roger.
Make a motion to approve Johnny Webb as a board member.
Thank you. Tom?
Second that, Judge.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? This appointment does go through to January 12th, 2025. Again, that's January 12th, 2025. And Johnny has served on our board, our sanitation board, for some time, so this is a reappointment. There's no discussion. Call the roll.
Mr. Tudor,
Yes.
Mr. Buchan,
Yes.
Mr. Berger,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all. Next is a resolution 2021-04. This is Eastern Kentucky University Statement of Support. A resolution of the Madison County Fiscal Court declaring its support for a legislative act permitting a state university which operates an aviation degree program and is an airport fixed base operator to appoint 2 members on an 8-member local air board. Whereas KRS 183.132 provides for local air boards to be established jointly between cities and counties, and the appointment of the members of the board by joint action of the mayors and the county judge executive. And whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court and the cities of Richmond and Berea have established the Madison County Airport Board, Inc. by joint action pursuant to said statute. And whereas the Madison County Airport Board, Inc. operates and maintains the Central Kentucky Regional Airport in Madison County, Kentucky. And whereas Eastern Kentucky University has maintained and operated an aviation degree program at the Central Kentucky Regional Airport for many years. And whereas Eastern Kentucky University is the current fixed base operator at the Central Kentucky Regional Airport. And whereas there is proposed legislation before the 2021 Kentucky General Assembly that would provide for a university which operates an aviation degree program and is an airport fixed base operator to appoint 2 members to a local air board. And whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court desires to make it known its support for such legislation in the 2021 Kentucky General Assembly to permit a state university which operates an aviation degree program and is an airport fixed base operator to appoint 2 members to a local air board established pursuant to KRS 183.132. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Madison County Fiscal Court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the judge executive to execute same on behalf of the county. At this time, do I have a motion and a second to approve resolution 2021-04? John Tudor.
Judge, I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 2021-04, the support for the EKU airport board.
Thank you. Roger.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Just to bring everybody up to speed, if y'all remember, it might have been our last meeting. It's been a while since we had our last meeting on December 15th, but I believe it was December 15th that Eastern came and sort of updated the court on what our future plans were. This is the support letter or support resolution that we're wanting to provide so that the General Assembly knows that we are supportive as a court. The city of Richmond is doing the same thing, and the city of Berea actually did their support resolution last Tuesday. So we're wanting to be unified in this. Do you all have any questions or any comments? Tom?
Just quickly to say, Judge, that we realize the value of EKU and their program, their flight program out there. They're the main tenant out there at the airport. And this will allow, should it go through, I think it's House Bill 158.
It is.
That will allow them to use some funds that at the airport to further its advancement that we don't have access to. And I just think it's a good, I'm glad that we can support that. It's a good program. We're glad to have them as partners, not only in the community, but at the airport as well. So.
Yeah, agreed. Thank you. Anyone else? All right, seeing none, we have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Mr. Buchan,
Yes.
Mr. Berger,
Yes.
Mr. Tudor,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you all. Next, we have Resolution 2021-05. This is the CSEP Planner Contract Agreement Renewal. And we have our very own Jennifer Hitch. Good morning, Jennifer. It's good to see you.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning to the court. Resolution 2021-05 is a resolution approving contract extension for Bullpen Inc. for CSEP Planner Services. Whereas the Madison County CSEP program requires emergency plans and procedures to be written and updated to support the CSEP mission. Additionally, at times, new mandates require new plans and procedures. And whereas the Madison County CSEP program has contracted in the past with Bullpen Inc. for planner services and are satisfied with the product Bullpen Inc. provides. And whereas the Madison County CSEP program wishes to renew their contract with Bullpen Inc. for CSEP planner services with the same terms for 1 year, which is attached here to this resolution.
Thank you, Jennifer. Do I have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2021-05? Roger.
Make a motion to accept 2021-05 CSEP planner.
Thank you. Do I have a second? John Tudor.
Second that, Judge.
All right, we have a motion and a second. And do we have any discussion?
Just so public knows,
Oh, sure.
this is for $45,000. So that they'll know that that's a pass-through the county budget.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Tom. John Tudor.
Jennifer, did we have 2 bids on that?
This was actually an extension. We had a previous contract with Bullpen Inc. So this would be
Okay.
extended.
Yeah, we did actually, John Brook bid this out, I think last year, I believe, or 2 years ago, maybe.
Go.
2 years ago, sorry, yeah. So that allowed for some extensions, I think, so,
Okay.
yeah. And I think he was the only one that bid this last time, is that correct? Jennifer? Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, any other questions? All right, seeing none, call the roll, please.
Dr. Barger,
Yes.
Dr. Tudor,
Yes.
Dr. Bakken,
Yes.
yes, sir.
Yes. Next, Resolution 2021-06. That was the amended resolution that we took off the agenda. Just to make known that this resolution number of 2021-06 will be placed and expunged in our resolution book in the county. So we won't be using this number anymore. So just for the record. Next is Resolution 2021-07. It's a CSEP generator maintenance contract. Dustin Heiser. Good morning, Dustin.
Morning, Dustin. Jeez. Good
You're
morning,
saying good
everybody.
morning to
Good morning,
yourself.
Judge.
You're saying
Yeah,
good morning to yourself. Why not?
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So yes, Resolution 2021-07, resolution approving CSEP generator maintenance contract. Whereas the Madison County CSEP program has multiple generators that are utilized across the county for response and infrastructure preparedness. And whereas the Madison County CSEP program needs these generators to be maintained in a ready state to maintain readiness and response capabilities in the event of a release of chemical agent from the bluegrass chemical activity. And whereas this contract does not include generators at our Emergency Operations Center building, our Joint Information Center building, or our 8 remote communication tower sites, as those are under other contracts. And whereas the Madison County CSEP program team researched the quotes provided and feel that it is in the best interest of the county to contract with Hepburn Consultants Incorporated, which is attached here to this resolution. Now therefore it be resolved that the fiscal court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the judge executive to execute the same on behalf of the county.
Thank you, Dustin. Do I have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2021-07? Roger.
Make a motion to accept 2021-07 generator maintenance contract.
Thank you. Do I have a second? John Tudor. I have a motion and a second. John Tudor, unmute yourself, John.
forget about that sometimes. Just a quick question for Dustin here. Dustin, does this anyway include the generators located at county fire stations?
It does not, as those are not CSEP buildings. This is for generators that we utilize at our field decon sites. So we have many small portable generators. We have a large portable generator, a pull type generator, as well as our light tower generators.
Do you know, Judge, if anybody's doing the maintenance upkeep on those generators that are county stations?
I'm not aware. The generator that we have at Station 2 ended up not being able to be used. It's my understanding, Dustin, is that correct? Due to it was the type of electric. I think the electric service at Station 2 is a 3-phase, I believe.
That's correct. That generator that was provided is a single phase, and I think you needed 3-phase at that facility. But
at our Station 1, you all do keep that generator up because it's part of
Station 1
EOC.
Is considered part of the Emergency Operations Center building, and that is actually through a contract through the Corps of Engineers because of our collective protection system with the building.
Yeah.
Thank you, Judge.
You bet.
Any other questions or comments? Dustin, do you want to sort of explain this bid? I think we had maybe 3 bidders or 2 bidders.
Sure. So it was because it wasn't over $30,000, we didn't go out for bid. We obtained 3 quotes per our admin code. We obviously, as we researched it, we felt it was going to be over $3,000. We got the 3 necessary quotes that were required by the admin code. Sorry. Hepburn Consultants, Hepburn Incorporated. They have an hourly rate of $77, and then we ask, obviously, because emergency operations, we have situations we may require after-hour responses. They provided a rate for that, and then most of these organizations provide a mileage rate as they do have to travel, sometimes to Berea, to the city of Richmond, and so on and so forth, to get to these generators, as they can be in different locations. Overall, Hepburn was cheapest all around. We actually have had a great success with David and his group. They've done this for us in the past. We had previous contracts with David, and then we asked for a quote from Everpar, who's out of Lexington and Louisville, and then Cummins is actually who we have our maintenance contract with at our 8 remote tower sites. They did not provide a response.
Thank you, Dustin.
You bet.
Any more discussion? We have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2021-07. If there's no further discussion, call the roll, please.
Mr. Tudor?
Yes.
Mr. Dawkins?
Yes.
Mr. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you all.
Thanks, Dustin. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, again, we amended the agenda, so Resolution 2021-08 we will not be dealing with today. Next is personnel in the road department. I think we've got maybe a new hire in our road department. Scott, good morning, buddy. It's good to see you.
Good morning. Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Court. We do have a recommendation. We interviewed Andrew Howland, and the interview board consisted of Willie Willis, Matt Grant, and myself. We would like to make the recommendation to hire Andrew with a start date of Wednesday, 1/20/2021, at a starting pay rate of $14 per hour for CDL driver.
All right, thank you, Scott. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the hire of Andrew Howland? Roger?
Make a motion to accept the hire of Andrew Howard for $14 an hour.
All right, starting on January 20th, 2021. Yep. John Tudor?
Second that motion, Judge.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion?
Does this take us back up to the number we need, or are we still short?
It actually does not fill all the positions. I think we do still have 3 available positions, but this does give us enough to operate all of our snow trucks, and actually gives us 1 person extra. But what we're experiencing is one of the routes is way too long, so our plans are to split that route and put this driver on the large route to be able to even everything out.
Thank you, Scott.
It's good. Any other comments? All right, seeing none, call the roll, please.
Pastor Bakken?
Yes.
Pastor Barger?
Yes.
Pastor Tudor?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Next, judge's report. I do have a few announcements. First and foremost, I want to congratulate Dr. Willie Walker. Dr. Walker's been a longtime member of our Madison County Airport Board, and she was recently inducted into the Kentucky Aviation Hall of Fame. So very proud of her, and she's been a professor, doctor at Eastern for a long time, and just a value to our community and all of our aviation accomplishments over the years. And I think this shows when you're inducted into the Kentucky Aviation Hall of Fame, it shows what you've brought to our community and to this state. So congratulations, Dr. Walker. We are experiencing some spikes in COVID-19 cases. Just please remember, wear a mask, social distance, wash hands. I know people, we've talked about this for many months now, but it's always good to be reminded. Hopefully this vaccine is going to get out and going to be able to make a difference and put this pandemic behind us. Our Madison County Animal Shelter has numerous dogs, cats that are ready for a warm, healthy home. If you are considering getting a pet for your family, please consider one from our Madison County Animal Shelter. And you can get on our website to get the information to contact our shelter. Very proud of our animal shelter team and the improvements and what they're doing out there at our shelter. So kudos to them. Be mindful this time of year, snow days, when snow hits the ground, our snow plows and our trucks are out. Trying to make safe pathways for people to get to and from, whether it be work, whether it be the grocery stores. So just be mindful of that. Give yourself a little bit extra time to get to where you're going, and always be watching for our trucks. Also, we are in the midst of winter, but occasionally we have nice and warm days. So don't forget about our Battlefield Golf Course. Our Battlefield Golf Course is a very nice place to get out, get some fresh air, get some exercise, and play around the golf. So please visit our website for the hours and course conditions and availabilities. Our walking trails at our county parks are always open. Was grabbing lunch the other day at Subway, and a constituent said thanks for the Whitehall Park. There's a very nice place. And so it always makes me feel good, and I hope it makes the court feel good because of the investment that the county has put into that park over the years and how much use that it gets. I mean, that's all part of the quality of life, and hearing those encouraging words from constituents that appreciate it is very nice. So I appreciate that. But it is a great park, so please use it. And it doesn't matter where you live in the county. Go use our Whitehall Park or our Battlefield Park. So it is a good place to get exercise and to get fresh air. The Richmond-Madison County NAACP branch will be presenting a virtual Martin Luther King Jr. celebration on Monday, January the 18th, 2021 at 3 p.m. You can view Martin's journey on the First Baptist Church Francis Street's Facebook page. So please participate in that if you can, again, on January the 18th, 2020 at 3 p.m. And then I'm going to end with our Madison County Courthouse and its related offices will be closed Monday, January 18th, 2021 for the Martin Luther King holiday. We will reopen on Tuesday, January 19th at 8 a.m. Comments from magistrates. I'm going to start with Tom. You're at the top of the screen.
Judge, just a few things from me. The winter time allows us to get out and do some tree cutting where it's hard to do with a lot of heavy vegetation. In the wintertime, all that's gone. So the road department is doing that now. And just throughout the 4th district, throughout the county, but throughout the 4th district, there's several that they're taking down. Just please be aware of those guys. Also doing some pothole patching this time of year. So just be aware for those. The state crew, on their schedule anyway, is scheduled to do some slope mowing down on 595 and 52. And some places really need cutting back, and I'm sure they're taking care of that. In the areas that I've seen already, and some requested, some that they just knew had to be done and have done, they've done a really good job on back there clearing the right of ways. So we appreciate their work out there for that. Last, the legislators are in session. And we are in contact with them. I spoke to Representative Frazier and Senator Carpenter already about a couple of things. And if citizens have something that they would like us to relay to them, they feel free to call us anytime and we'll get a hold of them. It's not our normal session where we run to Frankfurt. COVID's taking care of that for us, but we do talk to them quite regularly. So feel free to call us anytime. And with that said, Judge, if anyone needs me, they can reach me at 200-9765.
Thanks, Tom. John Tudor.
In the honor of the passing of our magistrate, Larry Combs, just glad to be here, Judge.
Yeah, I appreciate that, John. I knew one of you was going to say it, and I've thought about that many, many, many times since he's passed. Roger.
John has stole my line, so I was going to say the same thing in his honor. So I'll still say it. I don't really have anything to comment on, but just as Larry Combs would always say, glad to be here in his honor.
Yeah. Thank you all very much. Comments from department heads? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Kenny Barger, before department heads. Kenny Barger, you got anything?
Yep. We've been doing appointments for the in-person stuff where people have to be in the office, and we've been encouraging people to do for the mail, by phone, online, drop-off box up front for renewals and things like that. We are opening back up on the 19th, which is a week from today, to normal in-person business. But please, when you come up here, if you think you got even a hint of the coronavirus, don't come up here. If we cannot keep up with phone calls. We cannot do business like we're doing it. We can't serve the public like we're doing it. But if we open back up to the public and somebody tests positive, we're shut down for 4 to 6 days, the work will be piled up to our eyeballs, and I don't know what it's going to look like when we open back up. So if you don't have to come up here, please don't. If you do, come right on. But again, we're opening back up the 19th. That's the day after Martin Luther King holiday, to normal in-person business.
Thank you, Kenny. Tom.
Kenny, is the Bria office still closed?
Bria office is still closed, but it'll be open back up Tuesday, just like us up here. We'll have everybody back.
Thank you.
Spread out.
Good. Thanks, Kenny. Brooke, it's good to see your smiling face. Do you have anything?
I do not. Happy to be here.
Yep. Glad you're here. It's good to see you. Sheriff Cole, do you have anything else?
No, sir. I just want to thank the court again, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. All right, now we'll get to department heads. Anybody have anything to add? All right, seeing none, Chris sent me a text a minute ago that we had no comments from the audience. So now I need a motion to pay the claims and approve the transfers. Roger.
So moved.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second? John?
Second, pay the claims and approve the transfers.
Thank you, John. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, call the roll.
Pastor Berger,
Yes.
Pastor Tudor,
Yes.
Pastor Bakken,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Next fiscal court meeting is January the 26th, 2021. It'll take me about a month to get used to saying 2021. But January the 26th, 2021 at 9:30 a.m. And it'll be right back here on Zoom. I need a motion and a second to adjourn. Tom?
Motion to adjourn, Judge.
Roger?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Pastor Tudor,
Yes.
Pastor Bakken,
Yes.
Pastor Berger,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Appreciate everybody. It's great to see you. God bless you. Have a good week.